Welcome to my channel, Finance of History, Money, Power, and Finance and News Together. Please subscribe to your channel. You've probably heard of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. Since 1960, over 90 countries have taken its loans, but here's the catch. Many of them keep going back, sometimes for decades. Why do so few countries seem to get rich after an IMF program? Let's take a look. The IMF was born in 1944. Right after World War II. The goal was simple. Keep the global economy stable, offer short-term cash to countries in a bind, and prevent another Great Depression. For its first few decades, the IMF was a pretty quiet lender, mostly helping with currency issues. But things changed dramatically in the 1970s. The old system of tying the US dollar to gold collapsed, and currencies started floating freely. This created a lot of chaos, especially for developing nations. The first big wave of IMF dependency hit in the early 80s. In 1982, Mexico announced it couldn't pay its debts, sparking the Latin American debt crises. Countries like Mexico, Brazil, and Argentina all turned to the IMF for help. In exchange for these emergency loans, countries had to agree to a set of rules called conditionality. This usually meant cutting government spending, getting rid of subsidies, devaluing their currency, opening up to foreign trade, and selling off state-owned companies. The IMF argued these bitter pills were necessary to fix the economy and bring back investors. So, did it work? Well, the results were mixed. In Mexico, IMF programs did bring down inflation, but the economy just stalled. For nearly a decade, growth was flat. Economists call this period Latin America's lost decade. We saw a similar story in Sub-Saharan Africa between 1980 and 2000. Countries like Zambia and Ghana went through multiple IMF programs. Inflation often came down, but public services and local industries got weaker. Their debt just kept growing, leading them right back to the IMF store. The 1990s saw the IMF expand into Eastern Europe and Asia. After the Soviet Union fell, Russia got IMF help tied to rapid privatization, but by 1998, Russia was in a full-blown financial crisis, defaulting on its debt. Even the IMF later admitted they might have pushed for too much, too fast. Tin came a 1997 Asian financial crisis. Thailand, Indonesia, and South Korea were in trouble. They took IMF loans, but the medicine was harsh. In Indonesia, the economy shrank by over 13% in a single year. South Korea managed a quick recovery. But it highlighted a key lesson. Countries with strong institutions and a solid export industry bounced back faster. By the 2000s, even the IMF started to rethink its one-size-fits-all approach. They acknowledged that cutting spending too much could actually make a recession worse. We saw this play out during the 2008 global financial crisis and later in Greece. Starting in 2010, Greece went through some of the toughest austerity measures ever seen. Its budget deficit shrank, but its economy collapsed, shrinking by over 25% in 5 years. The IMF's own economists later publicly admitted they misjudged how badly the cuts would hurt the economy. So, what's the big picture here? Across decades and continents, the pattern is pretty clear. The IMF loan was just one piece of the puzzle, not the whole solution. Ultimately, the IMF was designed to be a financial firefighter, not an engine for development. Its job is to fix short-term payment problems. The historical record shows that building lasting wealth depends on factors that go way beyond what an IMF loan can offer. And that's why, even when the numbers on a spreadsheet look better, an IMF program alone has rarely been enough to make a country permanently rich. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into how our world works.